Yeah. I've never done the YouTube live thing.
I did it once.
It's the same. It's the same as this right now, what we're about to do. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Vanessa's Vanity. I have my co-host today, Kim and Glitter. She's holding my new puppy. My other co-host. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's my new puppy, you guys. That's Aya. And then I have my special guest, Renee Sigal.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
Renee. You guys, Renee is a singer, songwriter, vocal coach, plus size model. And what, did I leave anything out?
I do fit modeling too, but that's all part of the modeling umbrella.
Fit modeling.
We can talk about what that is later if you want.
Yeah, no, we'll
go
talk
there.
about everything. And then she brought in
Yeah.
our guitarist for the day,
Hey, guys.
Sandro. Sandro, what's your last name?
Razciel?
Sandro Razciel. So you guys, he's super amazing. Thank you for bringing him. I feel like
I know.
today bringing the guitarist for today's performance was a great idea.
Yeah.
Thank
It all
you.
worked
And
out.
he's super sweet.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being available because you're so busy.
He's a very popular man.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So tonight, you guys, we're going to be covering music, and I'm glad that we got in touch. So how I met Renee, you guys actually met her on Facebook, and I was so excited to meet you. Honestly, I was so excited to meet you because I felt like your introduction and like how you were talking about Vanessa's Vanity, finding out everything, like you were just like very, I don't know, you're very sweet over the conversation.
Thank
and
you.
then why don't you actually let me finish up what I was just talking about. Anyways, so you were bringing up some great topics about yourself, and I was like, oh my god, like I think she's like a perfect piece to bring into Vanessa's Vanity that we actually haven't had yet. So thank you for being on the show and thank you for being available.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so where are you from?
I'm from Orange County, California. I grew up in Mission Viejo, which is like down the street from the Irvine Spectrum, is how I always explain it to people who don't know where Mission Viejo is.
We all know where the Irvine Spectrum
Yeah,
is at.
it's like
Nosy.
landmarks. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're born and raised here.
Yes, my parents are New York natives. They moved here right before I was born. So certain words I say funny still, and people will be like, what was that? But that's where I get caught up in that. But yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so they're from New York, right?
Yes.
You were born and raised here.
Yes.
But you get it because your parents have the accent.
Yes, because I was born shortly after they moved here. So
Yeah.
they still talked to me that way. So like when I went to school, people would be like, what word did you just say to my car? What did I do wrong? And they'd like try to correct me out of my, coffee and all the words I did.
I love
like
the
my
New
mom.
I love the New York accent.
And my mom still has it. I love it.
That's so
it's just like
cool.
home.
Hey, get
So
out.
it's so funny because we're talking about, before going on the show, we're talking about like things that parents do that we take on. So you're taking on your mom's accent,
Yeah, I
and
do.
Sandra over here is taking on
The
this.
peace sign.
I do that too.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
do that all the
I
time.
always do this.
Is it a Latino thing or?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. She's talking about that she has her mom's New York accent sometimes.
Yeah,
And then you
it
have
could
the
just
whole
be-
peace sign.
Do your parents do that or something?
My dad, yeah.
He's just like,
No,
I didn't grow up from a peace family. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like
I was
there-
gonna
I was
say,
like,
but the
I
peace
didn't
sign
have
is
that.
universal. So
Yeah.
like a lot of
Yeah.
people do like peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Okay, so why don't you start telling us about your background and how you started how you got into singing?
To singing. So growing up in Orange County, I was always kind of different. I've always been, since I was probably about 6 years old. When I was 6 or so, I was normal. I was like everybody else. But after that, I feel like my life changed. I became a bigger person. I've always been curvy, and I never fit in with everyone else, to be quite honest with you. And so people were really, 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 really mean because I wasn't like everyone else. I wasn't, I wasn't small and skinny. I wasn't fit in the trendy clothes. Things didn't quite work that way. And so for me, I kind of had to find myself in that. And it's kind of hard because it's like, I can talk about being bullied, and it's kind of cool because I can share that with other people, and I'm at peace with that now. But I mean, at the time, it's like, it was not cool, and I didn't have the voice to say like, That's not cool. And so for me, what happened was with music, I found Gwen Stefani. And so it was probably somewhere around 1995, 96. It was right around the time Tragic Kingdom hit. And I found
love that
them.
album.
So it was like they were new. So I watched them play a show at UCI on Halloween in 1996. Those tickets were, I think, $11.
What?
You're so lucky to be there.
And I was there with a parent on
And
each
$11?
side. Yes. And I watched them, hit success. I watched them play, those like MTV Spring Break. I watched them be on K-Rock. It's like I was there. I watched them be the local hometown hero and be something else.
Was that your first concert?
No, my mom worked at Irvine Meadows when I was a kid, so I grew up at shows.
Okay.
I'm kind of spoiled in that sense.
Oh, they just closed down Irvine Meadows.
I'm very
Yeah.
sad.
I did read
But
that.
I went to the-
I did read that in your bio.
I went to the High and Mighty Festival. That was
That's cool.
the owner of the Irvine Meadows.
Moved it.
Are
I'm
you?
so glad. I'm glad they're reopening that. It
Yeah.
really bums me out because that was such a huge part of my life, and that was part of my goals in life with music was
And it's
playing
coming
there.
back.
So I'm like, it's coming back. It's coming back.
Coming
Hey,
back.
maybe you'll be able to perform one day there.
That'd be
Yeah.
rad. That'd be really rad. That was the goal.
Yeah.
So, so with me with Gwen Stefani. So I watched Gwen Stefani, and for me, because she was different, she looked different. She had a different style. She kind of had her own thing with the men's pants and the bindies and, just a different look and a different aesthetic. So for me, it was like she looked different, just like me. She was from down the street in Anaheim, so I felt like she was relatable, and she was into music, and I was into music. And so for me, Gwen Stefani kind of became this persona. So I became a Gwennabe, which was like the 90s term for
I
the
love
girls who
that.
wore that whole
I've
thing.
never
I was
heard
a
that.
baby too.
Yeah, so I did the bindi, I had the bangs. I had a girlfriend who would like do my hair in her kitchen sink when her mom was at work. Like that was my thing in high school. I became this Gwennabe. I wore the clothes, they fit horrible. My mother would tell me like, your midriff doesn't look hot. And I was like, nope, it's great. Like pulling down the pants, pulling up the shirt,
Hey, if
don't
it
care.
looks great on
I
Gwen,
was rocking
it'll look,
it. Yeah, I
great
thought I
on me.
looked damn good. No eyebrows. I did the whole thing. I committed to that whole image.
cool.
And so for me, that was how I found myself. Because the clothing that was existing at the time for plus size people was really ill-fitting. It was moo-moos. It was really boxy. It made you look bigger than you are. And it was nothing that would work for me. So it was like out of desperation, Gwen Stefani gave me the opportunity to wear like men's pants, which I could fit in.
Dickies.
And wife beaters. I can
Wife
fit in.
beaters.
I used to wear
And then I was like,
Dickies.
this is rad. I mean, and my favorite thing is to bedazzle. So I have like a heat gem press and a bedazzler and all that. So it was like I'd stud things, I'd buy things and deconstruct and reconstruct them. I had a friend in one of my school classes. She'd help me sew pieces, and we would just make
That's
outfits.
a cool friend right there.
Yes. So I would either make clothes or I would deconstruct and reconstruct clothes, and that was kind of where I figured out my own thing. And again, people would hate on it or people would have, whatever commentary, but that was how I found myself, I guess you could say, was because I felt stronger or empowered because Gwen Stefani was different and I could be different too.
Is there anyone else that you felt that you could relate to other than Gwen Stefani around that time?
When I was that age, that was really my main focus. She was like the one,
Yeah.
She
She was literally the one at that time.
She was it. I
Yeah.
mean, that was most definitely like the woman. And my whole thing in life, like what I took away from Gwen Stefani was, if I could do what Gwen Stefani did for me one day, like give back, have somebody be influenced in a positive way and get something out of like, me doing something right or doing what I do, then I did the right thing at the end of the day. Like that was always my goal, was like the greater good of making a difference. And because I felt she was a good inspiration for me.
That's awesome.
So that was kind of my full circle with what I took away from her.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
I can relate. Around that time, Tragic Kingdom definitely
she
was
started a thing.
a really dope
Yeah.
album, and that she took off right there.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so now going into what you do now, you're
Yes.
a vocal coach.
I am.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
So, after I graduated high school, and I was in choir and did all that music stuff back then, and I took private voice lessons, and my choir teacher always, or not choir teacher, my vocal coach, would always have me sing musicals. So I was singing Barbra Streisand, so I know the entire score of Funny Girl and all of that garbage, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was to be Gwen Stefani. So it was like I'd bring in my No Doubt sheet music book, and he'd play it, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. Like, the timing was wrong.
You're like,
It sounded
do it.
really
Correcting
awful.
it.
I was like, so I just give up and go back to singing, The Wiz or whatever. And that's cool and it was great, but like I always wanted to do something more contemporary and more current, and I'd always try to find bands and figure out ways to make it work, and that was kind of always my goal. So my parents' rules were as long as I stayed in school, that they would help me pay for like my insurance and my, car stuff and take care of me in a sense, and my cell phone. So I stayed in school, which is a good rule, and I went to school at the Musicians Institute up in LA, and I studied voice and music business. And while I was up there, I had begun working with local bands, and so it was all word of mouth. I had done promotions and marketing just to kind of be in the scene. I get comp tickets to shows. For those of you who don't know what that is it okay if I explain?
Oh my God, please.
Okay.
Definitely let them know, because some people might not even know.
So street
what
teen
you do
stuff
in the
doesn't really
industry.
exist anymore, because nowadays everything's on the internet. We do, Instagram and Facebook, and it's all social media. But back in the day, it was like hard flyers you'd hand out at the end of a show. It was, different kinds of ways of like grassroots marketing, leaving flyers at record stores. Again, stuff that doesn't exist anymore. So I did a lot of that, made a lot of connections, and so it was cool because I got to watch a lot of other bands grow into being bigger bands. Through doing that and just kind of being who I am, I was able to network. So what happened was, when I went to music school, people would be like, oh, well, instead of just like running our street team and selling our t-shirts at the show, like, will you come in and give us a lesson, and can we try that? And so that was kind of how I made a name for myself. So while I was going to school, I started teaching and consulting bands, which was super cool. And then from there, again, through word of mouth, it was one of those things where I got picked up right after I graduated school to be an on-call vocal coach for a studio in LA called NRG. It's in North Hollywood. They're known for a lot of K-rock bands. I love them. They're wonderful people if you need to record. They do bands like Incubus, POD, Linkin Park, sorry Chester, they did No Doubt, they did Return of Saturn.
All great bands.
Yeah, they do Evanescence. I mean, the list is insane. Their roster is huge if you want to check them out. It's an amazing place. And being there was so surreal, because it was like, I got invited as a whim. It was like somebody vouched for me, and I was like, I can't believe I'm in this building. And it's like I had to keep it cool, and so the only time I'd like fangirl out was like in the bathroom. I'd sit on the toilet and I'd be going pee, and I'd be like, Gwen Stefani probably sat on this toilet. You need to get up and go about your day. It was like end break. Like that was literally how that would go every time I was there. And that place is just so magical, because it's just like those walls hold so much music history. Like it's just super cool. So that's something cool I do. And then I got lucky on a whim. There was a Craigslist posting. There was a studio, it's like a new, how can I explain it, concept coming to Southern California. It was a concept called School of Rock, and it's a contemporary school of music for kids. They do guitar, bass, drums, voice, and keys. It's private lessons, and then at the end of the season, instead of a stuffy recital like I did in a church singing The Wiz at 9 a.m. on a Saturday, these kids are putting on a rock show. So they play the Observatory, they play Original Mics, they play the Yost Theater, they play Chain Reaction. So they get to do these really kick-ass shows at places that I want to play.
And now they're doing House of Blues, right?
And now they're doing House of Blues.
Wow, that's big.
So it's dope. It's really cool. So to be part of that is so rad, because it's just like, that's exactly what I needed at that time.
Right.
And these kids don't even realize, like, it took me till college to find people I could work with in a band, because I had to graduate. But these kids are getting to do it.
But
really?
you're a part of it. You're a part of it. That's so awesome. You're a part of it, and you're like motivating them to really embrace like what they love and that culture of
Absolutely. And it's so cool because it's like they get to kind of find themselves, and they have a place with like-minded people, which was something I missed and why I felt so isolated being my wannabe self. You know, we're there with people who like what they like, and they can jam with, and it's just really cool.
I will tell you this. I don't know how many guests I brought on the show, and they have a very similar story where they like linked onto something to really like bring out their creative side because they were bullied and they were different. I know some of like the models, like Brittany, she was in the same way. Like nobody liked her, and she was such a sweet girl, and it's just like it just sucks. Like it just sucks. Like some schools, like you encounter that, some people don't. But hey, I think overcoming that whole environment definitely makes you strong.
Absolutely.
Definitely makes you strong. It just makes you realize, like, you know what, like, it's important to be nice. It's important to be patient with people because you just never know when you're going to come across them again. And you being, you know, a person in that environment and being the one that's being bullied, it just makes you be like, you know what, like, I'm not going to treat anybody like that because nobody should be treated that way.
Absolutely not. No, I mean, and the things they said were so mean, and it's like sometimes there's like the part of me that wants to, now that we can all go on like Facebook and trying to look someone up, it's like, do I see what they look like now? Do I care? And it's like, I don't even know.
That's good.
I don't
I'm glad
even,
you don't
but then
do
there's
that.
the part of me that's just curious. You know, you have to be. You know, I didn't go to my high school reunion, so it's like I don't know where they are now.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's
And
better
that's
not
okay.
to know. To just leave it because at the end of the day, like you're following your dream. You're doing what you love, and that's all that matters. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be validated by anybody
No.
that you grew up with. You know what I
Totally.
mean? So I'm glad like you
Yeah.
overcame that, and you know you're more positive about that.
Thank
So
you.
okay, so great. Okay, so prior to going on to the show, we were talking about okay, where is the school located again?
There's one in Tustin and there's one in Rancho Santa Margarita. They're both in southern Orange County.
South of, yeah.
That's awesome. And then you guys used to work together.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so what? Okay, because we were talking about the age range. So,
Yes.
who would qualify to go to a school? What qualifications do they have to have?
They don't. I mean, it's a love for music. It's a
Yeah.
desire to want to be in a band. You have to work as a team. It's not, you know, it's not a team sport in the sense of like you're playing soccer or baseball. You don't have to have that skill set.
Just got to get along and.
But you have to be cool and get along.
Yeah.
You're still responsible because if you don't learn your song, you hold the whole band back. And
Yeah,
then you're the one,
exactly.
you
Okay, I
know?
can see that part.
which is
So-
pretty cool about that school.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah.
hold you accountable and they,
Right.
yeah.
But they also get to learn a lot about like music and different things, and they do get their own choices. We do open mics, things like that. So it's a very creative environment where they can embrace.
So you don't have to
whatever.
have any prior singing lessons.
No.
Like
No,
instrument.
no.
Wow.
You can
So-
go in there totally like
Yeah.
fresh.
Yep.
That is so awesome.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
please.
go ahead.
Is it true that like singing is like a learning skill, or is it like
I think everybody has it. Like some people are like, no, I'm tone deaf, or no, I can't sing. Everybody can sing. It depends on where you're at, and then it depends on how focused you are on working on it.
yeah?
Wow. I didn't
Because
know
the
that.
reality
So I can
is,
sing?
yes,
You can sing?
yes,
Yeah, I
you could
guess you
sing.
can sing.
Yes, you could sing.
Wow.
Because I had an adult lesson at School of Rock, and he came in and he liked music. He commuted for work, so he had a long car ride. So I would every week give him like a regimen of songs to try. And over time, he really learned so much. And it was
Wow.
just the fact he was committed to the car ride being his vocal box and him practicing. And
Wow.
so him committing to practicing, we covered more songs. He learned more information. He grew more as a musician than some of my younger kids who just go to school and hang out. So he, while juggling a life as an adult, which let's face it, we don't prioritize fun stuff sometimes, he really got more out of it. So it's the commitment you make, as well as having realistic goals. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Because like, I had a girl come in who really loved rock music, but her voice was more suited for like a more soft and folky type of thing. So it was like I had to think outside the box. I found her like a Glee arrangement of that rock song she really, really liked. So it was kind of in a way that she could sing it. It
Yeah.
wasn't going to be like some voice that doesn't fit the composition.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of be creative and figure out a way. But at the same time, if it's something you are passionate about and you want to do, absolutely. There's no reason for you not to. And singing is nowadays such like a thing. Like you can go to a karaoke bar. There's restaurants that have karaoke. I mean, it's like you don't have to have a band. You don't have to, that stigma's kind of gone. Where before I remember like placing ads looking for musicians because I didn't know what to do first. if that
Still, a
makes
lot of
sense.
people do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I ask is because I forgot what interview it was, but Ed Sheeran was on, and
Yeah.
he like played a song from when he was 14. He recorded, and it was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
And he's
we
like,
grow.
I learned.
Yeah, we grow. I mean,
That's why you have the vocal coaching.
that's why you have, help to kind of fine tune things, as well as, sometimes being, I always tell my students, like nowadays everybody has an iPhone or whatever. I'm like, voice note it. See what you sound like. I know we're our own worst critic, but like, that ain't right. But let you figure out what's going to work for that part, because I don't always want to give you the answer I would pick, because part of it is them figuring it out. I'm not going to be there forever.
True.
So let them find their voice, find their style, find their thing.
So
I'll just
How did
help
how
guide.
did you get into that point where you, by ear, became that talented to actually like identify if someone's like in tune or anything like that? Like what did you do?
Well, for me, music for me has always been kind of my passion. It's always something I've loved, and so I feel like I was given a gift to a point. Fine tuning it, absolutely. I mean, I still have to sing. It's not like I can just show up today and like brush it off and be like, hey, I'm gonna do this. This is cool.
Yeah.
Like every
Right.
day I'm singing, whether it's in a public forum or it's, you know, in my lesson room with my students or whatever, like I have to work too. That's the reality. It's like a bike, you have to ride it to keep on it. But at the end of the day, you just have to make that commitment. And I think the more time you commit to your craft and the more focus you give it, the better it will be. So like for me, coming from a place of like for example, being picked on and being bullied and not really, I'm an only child, so I didn't really have a lot of friends. It was just kind of me and my parents. So I kind of would lock myself in my room and I had music. That was my friend. So for me, I feel like I also spent a lot of time singing because that was what I had, you know? Because those were before the days of like us having iPhones and the internet and all that. So for me, it was music. Music was my guest.
That's awesome.
You know?
And you're still passionate as you were when you were younger.
Absolutely. I mean, I think music is a connection we all have. I think it tells a story. I feel like everyone can relate to it. There's just something special about music. And so for me, that's why I think music is such like a thing. I don't feel like it's something you're just gonna like be like, oh, it's cool today and I'm over it. I mean, we have students like that, but those are usually the ones that the parents push to do it. They're not kids that want to be there.
Is there a lot of students like that?
No, you'd be surprised. A lot of the students really want to like play music and
yeah.
I think it's great to have a school like that because usually like when kids are so young, finding out what their talents are, it's really hard. But when a kid knows what his talent, what he wants and stuff, like, oh my God, can you imagine how talented he's gonna be going through a school like that when he's like an adult? That's awesome. I actually had a fashion designer here, and she was like, she was just talking about like giving opportunities to young kids. She was like, you know what, my favorite part is finding kids that just love something so much and then giving them the opportunity. And she was like, I would like to have one day to create a class where I can just be like, hey, you know what, kids from like 10 to, or I'm sorry, she said like 8 to like 13 is the age range, and allowing them to go and just like learn, and of course letting kids in that, you know, want to do that. So,
and I think sometimes with teaching, I mean, and I'm sure you probably felt the same way, some lessons didn't follow your lesson plan. You didn't cover the chords or whatever song you were going to teach.
Every lesson
is different.
It's different.
Yeah, I'm sure, depending on the person, right?
But that's your job to like make it fun, make it interesting, and make sure the kid actually learns something.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll get a troublemaker.
No. Yeah, I mean, you can't.
I bet.
Oh yeah.
But I have a student, Kimber, if you're watching, I love you.
Hey.
She was one of my first babies, and you know, I felt like our relationship was always different and special, and I felt like I got to mentor her. And so for me, that was such a big deal, because it wasn't just about us singing Paramore Misery Business every week. It wasn't just about whatever, you know, Lord song she had to sing. It was bigger than that. And so, you know, it's like I watched her graduate high school, and now she's going to FIDM, because I encouraged her to say, you know what, if you really like music, that's cool, but if you also like fashion, you should try fashion too.
Absolutely.
And I hated it because she left me to go to fashion. She went to OCC and took night classes, and I was bitter because I was like, but I miss you, and my life is incomplete. But I'm really happy because now she's found herself.
Yeah,
you know, and
that's
she'll
important.
tell me I miss singing, but you know, I told her, I'm like, now you're old enough, we can go do karaoke on the side, but you know, at the same time,
that's a good teacher.
That's, you know, like that's what I feel like my job was. You know, I feel like I did the right thing at the end of the day.
You did too, because like nowadays, I feel like in the industry, it's important to be multi-talented. Is there's been like dancers that come on here that are like singers, songwriters, and I'm like, that's amazing. Like that's how it is nowadays. But we also brought in on an actor, and he was like, no, you know what? Back in the day, it's like you had one talent, and now it's like when you go and you meet all these people, they're multi-talented, and you're just like, wow, like you can do so many things nowadays. So that's good that you encouraged her to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was my job. I felt like it was the right thing, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
That's the way I want, you know, I want my students to feel like in my classroom they can let it all hang out. And it's not just about me making them sing the dang song to be ready for rehearsal kind of a thing.
No, because it should be fun.
You know, right.
They should be doing it because they love it. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, okay, so we got to know you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Sandro, and after we get to know you, we're going to go into the first video.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, your first performance.
Yes. Well, my name is Sandro, and I was born in Mexico City, and I came to the United States when I was a year old. As you know, I'm a musician, and I play guitar.
Not everybody
And-
knows, but go ahead.
Well, they're gonna know.
They're gonna know
Well,
now.
now you know, guys. I play guitar. I play a Fender Stratocaster, if there's any gear geeks out there. And I started playing when I was 14. I come from a family of musicians, mostly singers. Unfortunately, I don't sing. I sing in the shower.
But you can learn.
Yes,
Renee
you
said.
can learn.
Well,
You can learn.
you
And
know
you
what?
have
You
Renee
told-
as your friend.
You told me what to sing tonight. I'm gonna say this before we videoed. You sang for me what you wanted me to do instead. You sang it just fine.
Well,
by the way,
I can
by the
kind of
way.
sing, but I'm not very
Give yourself some
confident.
credit,
She's
dude.
a coach, so she knows.
I would tell you.
I'm
I'd be
sure
like,
you're-
that's okay. I got this. If it was that bad.
I'm sure you're just hard on yourself.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be at the level as your guitar playing.
Right.
So right now, yeah, you're going to be like, what the? But you'll get there if you
Yeah,
want it.
I just
And
need
then
to
you
practice.
can do both and like
Yes.
I get caught up practicing guitar, and then by the time I want to practice singing, it's time for dinner. Or,
Yeah.
it's time for dinner.
There's no time to do them both.
yeah, and I gotta hang out with I have 4 dogs, by the way, guys.
For babies.
So,
Oh, you get to hang out with them.
He's a
That's
fur
right.
daddy.
Fur daddy.
I think we're all officially fur parents, right?
Fur parent.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, especially
Do you have a
Kim.
dog?
Kim
I have
has
5.
5.
No
5
way!
dogs. Yeah.
Do you have to pay for a license, like for the city? Oh.
Damn, lies.
I don't know.
I actually had this conversation
I don't
with
know,
her
somebody
dad,
told
and her
me.
dad was like, we just keep on getting dogs. Kim,
Yeah, he's
Well-
like, she just brings them home. Like,
I don't see your dad on here.
oh,
It's no. I asked that because somebody asked me that, and I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know. Don't tell anybody.
right?
Just kidding. I have 1 dog.
Yeah, I have. According to the law, I have 1. I think
1 dog.
2. I don't know. Oh no.
So you have 4. That's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah.
babies.
Yes. I have a lot of help too. My family, they
They love your dogs.
yeah, they're grandparents. So.
Don't you have a hamster now or something?
I do.
And a hamster. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. You did say
My
that
my
earlier.
life revolves around animals.
Oh my
That's
gosh, me
awesome.
too. I'm even vegetarian and like all my, yeah,
Yeah.
all my
that's right.
makeup is like
Oh,
vegan and like
have you been vegetarian for a while? Or?
since I was 7.
Nice. Wow, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. So how long have you been playing the guitar? Did you say that? I'm sorry.
Since I was since 14. I'm gonna be 30 soon. So
That's good. You don't sound
Yeah.
excited.
no,
Yeah.
it's my last 20.
You're like, you can't even say. It's like,
but is it
30.
is it 30 is the new 20?
It is.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
what I was about to say.
Right?
It is.
Yes.
You're
I'm not gonna
fine.
say how old I am. No,
I know. I was like,
no, but you already know. You already know.
I don't know. Yo.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I'm excited. I'm really excited to go into this new phase of my life and play more shows, play more music, meet more people.
And we'll get into that. So,
So
I think
yeah.
we're ready for our first performance from you guys.
yeah, let's do it.
let's do it.
Let's do it. And what are we performing?
I think Loveful.
Loveful by the Cardigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go, you guys. Renee Sigal and
Do you want to start with Loveful? Sure. Does that make more sense?
Dear, I feel we're facing a problem. You love me no longer. I know, and lately there is nothing that I could do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I ought to stick to another man, a man that surely deserves me, but I think you do. So I cry, I pray, and I beg. Love me, say that you love me.
Fail.
another fail. Damn it, Kim.
I
We're
know.
on a fail.
Wait, what
roll.
has this happened before? Have you
I
guys
broke
done-
the internet.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, because
No.
we did a 5-minute makeup challenge.
How did that go?
And we
Fail.
failed. We failed.
Okay,
This might be a different song, but let's just double check this one.
Okay.
back. Just kidding. So, while we fix that up,
Yes.
why don't we talk more about, okay, so you've been a guitarist now. How did you get into playing the guitar?
Well, I like clapping. I don't know why I clap all the time.
I like doing this?
I like doing this.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
I talk with my hands. I'm always like, yeah.
Very like.
Yeah. You gotta get into what you're saying.
Well, I originally was a drummer before I started playing guitar, but that didn't last too long. Then I picked up guitar because my dad plays guitar, and he sings, and so little by little I got into it. And funny story, my parents always wanted to put me in guitar lessons. There was no School of Rock back then.
Oh, so you didn't go to School of Rock either?
Oh no!
How long has School of Rock been in business for?
Oh, you probably know.
School of Rock actually came about right before the movie School of Rock came out. And what had happened, the story behind that, I'll give you real quick.
Yeah.
School of Rock was a real thing. It was back east. And they were going to do like a rockumentary. This was the era of like the VH1 Behind the Music and all that junk. So they were going to do something like that with the cue of the idea of the School of Rock. And what happened was someone kind of from the inside who shouldn't have like given the idea, gave the idea to someone else who came up with a movie concept.
No.
So that's where the Jack Black came from.
Yeah.
And then, in addition, they still released this rockumentary, but it kind of was a dud because everybody knows the movie.
Yeah.
So everyone always comes in the School of Rock doors like, "Oh, you guys are awesome! You know, like the movie, right?" And it's like,
they're like, "Where's Jack Black?"
And we were
Where's
like,
Jack Black? That's why we
were
came.
first.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
No,
true.
it's true though. They do. They do. They
Where's
do.
Jack
They think
Black?
he lives there or something.
Why would they think that?
They think
their parents need to stop letting them think that.
I don't know.
I think School of Rock the movie just celebrated like 20 years.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
huge.
like
now they
that.
have a Broadway
Yeah.
play. It's
They
huge.
do have a
School of
Broadway
Rock
play.
is
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Our students auditioned.
Are you serious?
Yes, we had students get to the final round. It was flipping awesome.
Well, I didn't know that.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Hey, that's good to know too. I didn't even know that they
They open up the audition to kids, but then they give us like another like hey, if you're one of us, you can go to this casting. And then one of our students made it all the way to New York. They did 2
I was
castings
just
up
gonna
here
say
and
it
one
takes
back
place in New
east.
York, right?
Yeah,
What?
because it's Broadway.
That's pretty cool.
So it was pretty dope.
That is dope.
Yeah,
That's dope.
He was a guitar student, not mine though. I will be honest.
Oh.
But he's rad. I gave him
Was it my
vocal
guitar
coaching.
student?
Do you know Maddox Kennerson?
Okay, no,
he's
not-
new.
Hey, that's something
He's
to be
great.
proud of. You're like, wait, is it mine?
I know. Well, I need to know.
No,
But it's not, it's
he's
not, it's
adorable,
not.
but he's literally like 9 or 10, so he's got so much ahead of him if this is where he's at now.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Nice.
But I did give some vocal coaching. He had to sing a Ramon song. But other than that, we're cool.
That's
So,
very
yeah, it was
cool.
pretty cool.
Okay.
So you
cool.
guys, just to let you know a little bit more about our show, we actually have people that subscribe to chat with us. So we have people in the chat room.
Yay!
Nice.
We're gonna go in there. Hi guys. Thank
Hi.
you for joining us in the chat room. Okay, so we got Patrick Hawkins.
Oh,
That's
hey, Dad.
Kimberly's
He's
dad.
our fan.
We were just talking about him.
Yeah, we're like,
His
where is
ears
he?
must have been ringing.
He knew. Hi, Dad.
Hey,
right?
Patrick.
So we got Patrick, we got Marigold, we have Linda. Hey, Linda.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Okay, this Patrick says, "Damn, we need them for the fashion show." Kim?
Yeah, I asked her.
I'm in. I told her, as long as you got plus size stuff, I'm
Wait,
in.
what fashion show? What are you guys
We're selling.
They actually
We're
talked
going.
about it. Patrick cracks me up.
He does.
He like comes on our chat, and the first thing he usually talks about, he's like, "Kim, you need to feed your turtle. Kim, what do you want from the store?"
Yeah.
I
It's
love
the way to
his
get
dad.
to you. Yeah.
But he's on our
Ken,
chat
are you wearing
every
clean
time.
chonies?
He's like, that's what. He always has something. He's like, that's the only way I can talk to you. Like,
Yes, we're on the show.
That's something my mom would do if it makes you feel any better. Like if she's not on there yet,
Oh my
she
God.
probably will be.
My
so it's
mom
cool.
would do the same thing
Yeah,
too.
my mom
so
would totally
it's
be
all
like, "What are you
gravy.
wearing?" or like something.
what
yeah.
do you wear?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. My
I think you
mom's the same way.
look great.
And we got DJ Marigold.
Hey.
Marigold's been a guest on the show. She's one of our DJs. I think I
Nice.
sent you a link.
Yes.
And she was the one that was on the DJ
Yes.
on the turntables.
Yes, yes.
She says, "Hello, everyone. That was so good." Well, yeah. So she was talking about the first video we played.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
It actually worked. The problem was only put back one speaker because it recorded left and right channel.
Oh.
So it was, they probably did hear the guitar and everything. So what
Oh,
we'll
they
do
had a
is
beautiful.
we'll try
Oh.
it again.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Let me go through the chat really quick.
And then we'll go back.
It's okay. And then we'll go in there. And then we have Patrick. He says, "And Vanessa." And then he goes, DJ. And then he goes, yay. Love your dad. And then DJ Marigold is like, what happened? Question mark.
Because we cut the video.
Yeah. And then we have Linda. She's like, hello. And then she's like, hey, boo. Hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Thank you guys all for being on our chat. And they're here today to chat with you and chat with
Cool. Sandro.
I keep on going blank with your name.
That's
I'm so
okay.
sorry.
Sandro
Sandro I got
Bullock.
it.
Sandro.
So,
There you go.
Just remember that Sandro Bullock.
yes, that's
Yeah.
right. No, I was thinking Sandra, but Sandro.
Yeah.
But yes, you got it. So, we're going to try to play this video again. Okay. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Sure.
What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Loveful? Sure. Does that make more sense?
Dear, I feel we're facing a problem. You love me no longer. I know, and lately there is nothing that I could do to make you do. Mama tells me I shouldn't bother, that I ought to stick to another man, a man that surely deserves me, but I think you do. So I cry, I pray, and I beg. Love me, say that you love me. Fool me, go on and fool me. Love me, pretend that you love me. Leave me, just say that you need me. So I cry. And I beg you, love me, say that you love me. Fool me, just go on and fool me. I can't care about anything but you. Lately I have desperately pondered, spend my nights awake, and I wonder what I could have done in another way to make you stay. Reason will not lead to solution. I would end up lost in confusion. I don't care if you really care, as long as you don't go. So I cry, I pray, I beg. Love me, say that you love me. Fool me, go on and fool me. Love me, pretend that you love me. Leave me, just say that you need me. So I cry and beg for you to love me, say that you love me. Leave me, just say that you need me. I can't care about anything but you.
Wow, yay!
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 Yes!
Woo!
All of y'all.
Oh, y'all.
I love that song.
Yeah, me too. If just the way you sing it too, like
You sang it so well.
But Sandra gives it new flair. That's also part
Yeah.
of it. You,
yeah,
you don't
no,
play it like
totally.
the way they
I don't play it.
that way. You give it your own thing, which makes it more
That's
cool.
actually something I do. I play like a lot of
Flip
different
it.
types of songs and I just mix them up.
So cool.
So you don't. Okay, got it. So you just change it into your own thing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And as a singer, it's hard because you have to kind of anticipate or be like, you've got a vibe.
'Cause you don't
you're
know
like,
when
oh,
he's
shoot,
gonna-
what are
I
you
throw a lot of
doing?
curveballs, and I'll tell my singers, I'll be like, I'm gonna throw a curveball right here, like.
And you're like,
I just
gotta
throw
go,
random
gotta catch
chords.
it.
Yeah, I get it. Because you're like trying to stay.
No,
in
but
tune
that
with him.
it keeps everybody on their toes.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That was great, you guys.
Thank you.
You know what? Like when you were singing earlier, I was like getting the chills. I'm like,
I was
so
too.
Gwen Stefani.
I was like, I
What
feel like
happens.
she's here.
I can't help it. I can't help it. It's who I am.
It's so
who I've
funny
become.
too, because like you're like talking about Gwen, and I'm like, dude, like, yeah, I love her. Like, who doesn't love her? And
There are people.
I
There were
agree.
people that were so anti what I did, and
I know how to
I
spell
was rocking
bananas
it.
because of her.
yes,
Like
There you go.
every time
it's helpful.
I need to spell bananas, I go B-A-N-A-N-A.
Right, right. It helps. It helps. I know, but
hey, that's a good song too.
Yeah.
I love her. I mean, right now I'm not, so I mean, that's a whole nother story. But back in the day, old school Gwen Stefani, the first 2 solo albums,
Yes.
I'm happy. I love her.
So
Yeah.
I can play it over and over again.
Is she still dating the country guy?
Yes.
They're back together.
I don't see them
What's his
together.
name?
Blake Shelton.
Shelton.
Blake Shelton. Like I mean, you know, like you go off of like celebrities, like what you see,
Yeah.
and I felt like he looked like he would be better with his wife,
Yes.
ex-wife, right?
Yes,
Like
the
they had so
country.
much in common.
Right.
Yes, country
But-
lady.
I don't know
Country
how
lady.
Gwen and him
Country
like
lady, yeah.
connect.
Well, they
Do you
met
read
on
up on that?
They met up on The Voice, so I get it. Like, there's that common ground of seeing each other in the rehearsals and being together for those shows. So I get that, but
Yeah.
It's
She was,
weird.
she was also going through a breakup during
Right.
that time, so
Right.
that probably connected.
yeah, it was like they both were going
rebound?
through. Yeah, so I
They
feel
were
like they
both-
both.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
No,
both
seriously
were just
though.
they were both divorcing their
And he was
lovers.
yeah, he was divorcing his
So it was
wife.
kind of like at the same time things in their lives were both falling apart, and then they kind of fell together. But yeah, my mom says I should give him a chance, but I was like,
I mean, every guy.
I was like, no.
If I could snap, I would be like,
honestly, like
It's like,
I feel
no.
like I know Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's a good person. She has a good heart. So he must have a good heart. So
Right,
you do have to
right,
give him a chance.
right.
He must be the perfect
Everyone
rebound.
has like a breakup and
Hashtag perfect rebound.
Yeah, I mean,
rebound. Yes.
like I said, I'm supposed to give him a chance, so I shouldn't talk mad smack. But yeah, it was weird. That's why I'm like, I'm not so sure. And the last solo album was weird. I just.
Do you think Gwen will come out with something country?
She is. She's doing
Is
stuff
she?
with him.
What? That's
Oh,
not her, though.
Spit it out.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
How do you
So
feel
it's
about
weird.
that?
Yeah. How do you feel?
See, this is what I mean. Like, in music school, I had to take the song "Call Me" by Blondie and make it a country song for a class, and I was like, I hate this. Like, I will teach a student country music. Don't get me wrong, or I'll work with a country flavored student. That's great. But as far as me personally and my taste, I'm not a country music person. I can do mainstream country, like that one song about like jacking up some guy's car. Do you remember that one that came out
yeah,
years
that
ago?
song. What's her name?
Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Underwood.
That one. That
Drove
one.
my keys
Yes, that
to
one.
Yeah.
That one I can groove with because it's like pretty, like, you know, oomph. It's like you ought to know,
like,
but with
yeah.
twang. I'm
Has
like, I
some
can
edge
do
to
that.
it.
Yeah. But as far as
Yeah.
I know you
her
can
doing
sing it though, but you're just
country,
like
I'm
you.
just
I
like-
just rather not.
yeah,
not your
and me
preference.
country, not my thing. So for her to go there, I'm just like, you were my girl. Where did you go? Like, what happened?
So
But
if-
you know what? I think when you reach a certain point, like Gwen's point,
Yeah,
it's like
she
you
can do
want to
whatever.
see what else
Yeah.
you can do.
Yeah.
And she can. She could do no wrong. I mean,
think
don't
so. I
get
think
me. You
she'll
know,
be able
she
to do
can.
it. But it's weird.
just weird to me. It's very foreign.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, if Gwen was watching, what advice would you give her?
Leave him, girl. I'm just kidding.
Girl,
Oh gosh, what would I tell Gwen? Oh
my God.
that's so no, that's me.
I'm just kidding.
I'm like suddenly I became the bad guy on this episode. No, it would be to like listen to your heart. I mean, if your heart says to be with him and do country and be on this solo thing, I mean, then you have to do that because that's what's good for you. But at the same time, I'm very torn because I feel bad for like the rest of No Doubt. Like I'm so happy
It's
that
okay.
they're successful right now with that Dream Car band. Like they played Coachella. They're doing huge things that No Doubt never did. So for me, I feel like they're doing just fine without her, and I feel like that's okay too. Like
I think that's
I'm happy
good though,
for
because
them.
you don't hear a lot of things like when bands separate that.
Right,
You know, they're doing
right.
that's great.
Right. I mean, and I was super
good.
sad. Like, I went to Kaboo because someone told me by secret, like, this will probably be the last thing they do for a while. And it was one of those things where that No Doubt show was different than any other one I'd seen, which I've seen several. And the connection was just not the same. She had a teleprompter and she still messed up the words. It was just like, she wasn't there. And it was right around the time that the Gavin thing happened, so I understand. But it just, no doubt, didn't feel the same anymore. So I kind of understand where she might be trying to find herself in a new project or a new man or whatever, new genre, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She needs to get over it.
she'll get there.
Her ex. So
Yeah.
I
like that.
I think
song
go for
she
it.
came out with after like, what was it?
The Why You Have to Go Make Me Like You, or the one about
I think it was
gosh.
about Blake, wasn't it?
Oh god, that one's the Blake one. Are you talking about the, oh gosh, why can't I think of the name of the song? I can think of the words.
I can't think of it either. It's like
Oh,
the
gosh.
where she's
Okay,
in
think
black
about
and
it.
white.
So we got people in our chat room, and they have lots of comments. So let's see what they
Yes.
said. Okay, so
Used
we
to
got
Love You.
Used to Love You.
I'm on it. I
That's
was
a
like, I
good
had to
one.
sing it to the chorus, and then I'm solid.
Yes, that's a good one.
That was the song.
So we got Patrick,
Hey, Dad.
and he said, I said them. And then Patrick says, gotta have them both. Anyway, on the show, carry on.
Oh, them. Yeah, you guys can.
And then Linda was like, that was awesome. So I think she's talking about your guys'
Thank
performance.
you.
Oh, thank you.
And then Lisa Phillips,
I know her.
she said, good stuff.
She's a
Aw.
School of Rock parent.
Really?
Hey, Lisa. Thank you for
Yeah.
joining.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, thank you.
And then Marigold's like, she's dating Blake. Confirming.
Yep.
And then Patrick's like, I thought she was dating Jesse James, but I haven't watched her show. Maybe I'm off a little on this one.
I think that was a long
Sandra
time ago.
Bullock
Anyway.
was dating Jesse James.
Yes.
Yes.
my dad's talking
Gwen
about.
used to date Jesse James?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think so, but I might be wrong.
Oh, crazy.
I should know this. I'm kind of embarrassed.
He said, oh, too late. He said, yeah, don't repeat that, Vanessa. LOL.
Okay, so I wasn't bad. My history was accurate. No.
Okay, yeah, I don't think.
He like Googled it real quick.
Yeah, okay, so that I don't see. I don't see Gwen with Jesse James.
Yeah.
That's too rough and tough.
Yeah, it's a weird
Yeah.
mix.
From
Yeah.
Gavin, because like Gavin was so soft and like he's like pretty boy soft, you know? And then
Yeah,
rocker
he had the
edge,
rocker edge, but that was, yeah.
Rocker edge, yeah. Yeah, he was hot.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
I went them together. I was just like,
It was
yes.
such a magical thing.
Very.
Like I remember, like, when I was younger being like, you know, as you tear out the you know, YM or whatever stupid magazine as a child, and you're like, I want to be like them when I grow up. When am I going to meet this hot rocker guy with hair, you know? Like,
Yeah, Rocky.
I know, where are they?
I don't know.
Drinking whiskey. Are you okay?
I don't know where they hang out. I would think you would know. I'd be like, hey, Renee, take me with you. Where are they at? I'm just kidding. Okay, so I think we're ready for the next video.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You guys ready?
Are you guys?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready now?
Oh.
Aya?
Aw.
Oh my God, her eyes.
She's getting weepy.
I think she's ready.
Yeah. It's like lullaby.
I know it's I woke up
Great
Thank you.
performance, you guys.
Thank you.
I love that you got him on the show with you.
I got
just
lucky.
gives it
I
the
was like,
whole
"Are
vibe.
you free?" And he's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Yes."
And your voice pairing up with a guitarist, it just makes it even more amazing.
It's fun, but it's different. Because for me, like, I love performing. I love being on stage. I love, vibing with an audience and rocking out. So for me, it's a little different to be in like a stripped down, more intimate. It's like, where do my eyes go? And should I move so much? Am I moving too much? Like, I have to kind of think, because even though I know what I'm doing, I don't want to overdo it. It's like I want to keep the focus of the song and not like me like
very
landing an
intimate.
airplane, like.
Yeah.
You have to think about those things, for me at least, because I'm usually so over the top.
Well, I'm glad that this was your first time doing that.
Live.
Yeah.
Like I've done a couple takes in Sandra's garage for things, and those we get a couple rounds, so it's a little bit more structured. I can work, I can see one and be like, okay, I don't like where I put my hands, or I don't like that. Let me try again.
Yeah.
I don't want to look so serious in a camera, like.
Oh my God, yes.
I was giving like serious bitch face, so I was like, that's really awkward. I'm singing a
just
love song.
say that.
I'm like, I'm singing a love song, like, and I'm like, that doesn't work.
You're like,
it doesn't
Exactly.
work. I'm
Sometimes
gonna kill you.
At the end of the show, sometimes I'll be driving home and I'll turn it on and I'll watch the show and I'm like,
You're
why
criticizing
why am I chewing gum?
Yeah.
Why am I focusing like that? Why
I'm
am
the same way.
Oh my God, right? So it's okay.
Oh yeah.
No, we get it.
Yes.
I'm never gonna do that. I
Yes.
just sit up straight.
Yep.
And
What
look at
came
myself.
over
I know.
it,
No,
yes.
since the beginning, I was like this, and I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good.
Get
You
better.
just have to-
Gotta get right.
I don't have my glasses,
Get it right,
so I
get
can't
it
really
right.
I'm
Oh
just like,
my
let's hope for
God.
the best.
Okay, let's go into these questions again from our
Okay.
guests, and
Okay.
we gotta keep up with them because they're on here
Yeah,
to chat with us.
yeah.
And we
Okay.
gotta chat.
I'm happy they're here.
Cool. And then let's see. We got Linda. She said Kat Von D dated Jesse James.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right.
And didn't he cheat on her? There was some juicy
Yeah.
something.
He's just a big time cheater because he cheated on her and Sandra Bullock, didn't he?
I think so.
yeah.
I think he's just bad news.
Yeah.
Bad-
So I would hope
Bad boy.
Gwen Stefani, don't go there. There's my advice.
Don't go there anyway.
Don't
He has
don't
a nice
do it.
motorcycle, though.
Nah, there's someone else. I'm sure there's someone else with a nice
You're
motorcycle.
such a guy. That's all he
She
thinks.
can buy her own motorcycle. What the
Yes.
heck?
Exactly. She can even hire a hot guy to like drive her, right?
Yeah.
He's like, you don't know my life.
Hey, if I was a celebrity, I would do the same thing.
Yep.
You look like, what? Forget the cheater. Let me just hire a cute guy just to take pictures with.
Damn.
Paparazzi, hey. No, I'm just kidding.
Right?
Get it together.
Anyways, get it together. No, but yeah. Okay, so Patrick Hawkins says, yeah, I just thought the whole opposite thing. Sometimes that goes well, but
Wait, what is he talking about?
he's talking about when he thought Jesse James dated Gwen Stefani.
Oh.
He was like, oh no, that was totally opposite. Confirming that. And then DJ Marigold is like, I love Sheryl Crow. Can you sing if it makes you happy? LOL.
I do know that song. I have sung it once before for an event, so we'll see if Sandro and I can pull it together. Sandro's got to do
Give
some,
us like
some
a couple minutes.
he's got to check out the song and make sure he knows it.
Let me go through these
So we'll-
questions, okay? And then we'll go into
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's cool. Thank you for being open to singing that
Oh yeah.
song.
I love Sheryl Crow too. I'm
she's
I'm a
great.
baby of the 80s, so the 90s were totally like my era of growing up. MTV with music videos and all that.
Yeah.
So for me, there's just a different attachment to the 90s music. Cardigans and Sheryl Crow both being that era. So for me, it was just kind of fun to do
The
those kind of.
Cranberries.
Yes, I love
The
the Cranberries.
Cranberries.
Zombie is one of my jams. So like I love being able to kind of go back to that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then DJ Marigold's like, you guys are a great duo.
Oh, thank you.
And then Lisa Phillips, she's like, totally agree. Great together.
Aw,
about you guys?
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And we got Patrick Hawkins.
Hey.
He's like, oh yeah, he was
Hey, Dad.
cheating on her, Kat Von D, aka
He's
Tattoo
always
Queen.
there.
Oh,
While
true
he
that.
was with that really sweet actress lady, that's right. Q. Vanessa, you don't have to say everything that's here, right?
But you do, right?
But why not? I think it adds a little humor to our
Pero
whole
porque
show.
no. Right.
Pero por qué, güey?
And then he's like, oh my god, they gel very well together in Dead.
I'm dead. Wait, in dead? Never mind. Keep reading.
It is supposed to be indeed.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, indeed.
Sure. Thank you.
Oh, and then we got Ferdinand. Ferdinand is DJ Marigold's brother.
Cool.
And he
Nice.
said, hi everyone, I love that song. Great job.
Oh, thank
Great
you.
job.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Hawkins, he's like, okay, question, Renee.
Yes.
Who's your favorite singer or major inspiration and why?
Oh, well.
Well, I mean, Gwen Stefani would be like the go-to answer. But I love a lot of things. Growing up, my mom played a lot of hair bands, so like I knew all of those kinds of songs. So I love like a rocker with like a little gritty edge.
There you go.
So for me, like I like so many things. It's so hard. Like I love like Jamiroquai. If anyone remembers him, he was the guy with the big hat on like the conveyor belt, like Virtual Insanity. Like random throwback, but like he's the shit. Pardon my language.
Yeah.
And then I also love like rocker chicks, like your Pat Benatar and Heart.
Yes.
I love all of that. And then like growing up, I remember back to the 90s, Alanis Morissette. Like that CD we listened to in the car and my parents let me sing along, but I didn't know what the hell I was singing.
Oh my god, it's so funny because DJ Marigold's like, or Alanis Morissette.
I forget.
Which one though?
Which one, DJ Marigold? Which one should she
Make a
sing?
decision.
Because I know one.
Yeah, I love. So Alanis Morissette was great, and then I got my driver's license. I got in the car with that CD, and I was like, oh, that was like the moment when I figured out what I had been singing the whole time. I was like, that's really inappropriate, but thanks, Mom, I love you.
Thanks. That's so funny how you went into that and she had put that. She's like, or Alanis
Are we vibing?
Morissette. You guys are vibing. DJ Marigold covers everything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
So
love
yeah,
it.
so for me, I love chick rockers. I love gritty vocals. I love like 90s. Like I love like Soundgarden. I love Stone Temple Pilots. I love some grit. I like some dirty vocals. I think it's fun. And the funny part is like, although I'm this pop rock chick, like students I've had are like guys in hardcore bands that scream and stuff. And yeah, the pop rock Gwen Stefani girl sings screaming music and teaches you how to scream without hurting your voice. Really weird, but it's super fun. And it's like, that's why I was taking it for.
Do it!
That's what it is.
Can you do Yes, do it!
Because the reality is, just tip, screaming takes the same effort as whispering. It just has more chord effort behind it. So it's the same placement. So if you can whisper like, you know, you can put the voice behind it and give yourself, see, look, and now you can front a hardcore band.
Oh my god.
Do it.
It's not that hard. But
I'm like,
that
I'll be right
kind of
back. I'm gonna go.
practice. So you wanted to sing. Here you go. You're getting your free lesson.
Yeah.
But you can totally just, you know, do things like that, and that's how you find your like hardcore screamy voice. You know, it's the same as a whisper. It's just that's the safe way of doing it, so you don't blow out your voice.
Yeah.
Patrick Hawkins
you go.
says, is anyone in your family musically like you, Renee?
Me? Let's see. My dad played guitar in a band. They were nobody. They did nothing. His guitar always sat collecting dust. I would try to play it, and it hurt my fingers, so I never really learned.
Oh.
But that was
That would be
okay.
cool.
That was cool. And I'm a Yamaha dropout. My parents made me try that. I tried keyboard, and the lady was mean. She like hit my hand. I was like, okay, I'm done. Done with this.
With a spoon or?
No, finger.
With a
spoon.
I don't even.
With a cincho?
I don't know. I was little. It was not good. So I'm a Yamaha dropout. But my mom loves to sing in the car, and my mom is like super fun, and my mother is the total like we're Jewish, so she's like your
I've
Jewish
met
New Yorker
Renee's
mom.
mom.
She's dope,
Yeah?
and
She's
she loves big, and she wants things
You
like
should've brought
for
her.
me. Oh, you'll love her. We can bring her next time.
Yeah.
So I'll come back with mom. But mom's rad. Mom would take up a whole episode and a half. But mom's great. Love mom. But mom always encouraged me to sing. So I sang with my mom all the time. Like in the car, in the shower, at home, around the house, wherever we went. Anytime I wanted to do, you know, she encouraged all that.
So funny. Your mom
So-
sounds like my mom, but I would never sing with her because I couldn't.
Yeah.
My mom had a good voice.
My mom, she's
My
not.
mom did.
She's not a horrible singer, but my mom makes up words, and I always give her a hard time for it because I can't help it. Because it's like, Mom, it's no doubt. We've listened to the song 100 times. Like, you know those are the words. Like, what the fuck is that? Like,
Oh my
what are
God,
you
that is
singing?
so
So,
funny.
I mean, I think I got my inspiration from my mom and the fact she worked at Irvine Meadows. So I grew up going to concerts, so I always grew up around music. Like, I didn't trick-or-treat. I went to see Oingo Boingo. So for me, I grew up in a rock and roll household because my life revolved around my mom going to these shows. I took dance class. I took singing lessons. So I was nurtured in that, but it wasn't like my mother was like a famous opera singer or anything like that by any means.
DJ Marigold says, you pick and surprise us.
Well, the one song you know.
I know that Alanis one.
Which one? You Oughta Know or Head Over Feet or Ironic? What do you know?
Ironic. That's the only one I know.
Wait,
But we
did
could
You
do-
Oughta Know?
Huh?
You don't remember it? Slow Ha, our cover band,
We could do. Yeah, I know.
for 5 minutes.
We had a cover band,
For
Yeah.
5 minutes.
and they all hate me because apparently
You quit. So you broke up the band. You were the Yoko Ono.
Is that what happened?
Like I quit after 5
I don't want to
minutes.
be Yoko Ono.
No, it was super
Is that
cool.
is that the worst thing you can do? Is like when you're in a part of a band, is like the worst thing you can do is just
Yeah.
one person that
I mean, and I understand
When it clicks,
why,
it's like they
but
quit.
I was sad.
Our band name was pretty funny.
what was it called?
No.
You started this.
Yeah.
It's Sloha.
Sloha.
Loha? Where did you guys get that name from?
Like aloha.
Okay, I say that first, Sam. You got it.
You can't throw this at me.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Inside jokes.
Okay, I'll do the first two. Okay. Shitloads.
Of hot ass.
Shitloads of hot ass.
And how did that happen? There was a Craigslist posting looking for a band, and we didn't have a name, and they wanted people to come play their party, and this the things try to get people to like want to play their party.
They wanted to
was,
hire
like,
you guys right away, so they
because
said, what is your name?
They said, they said, what the party was providing. They're like, there's X amount of money, there's all this kind of alcohol, and we're going to have shitloads of hot ass. And so it was like, they're trying to make it sound appealing to come and play their party.
Yeah. So
And-
Sloha.
And that's where that,
That was our band name.
and that's
Oh
where
my
that wasn't my idea, but that was, that was from that app.
That wasn't my
It's
band.
their fault.
I love
That's
that.
funny. That's very funny.
We did cover
quick-
songs. It was awesome. We had another guitarist from School of Rock, and then
Yes.
a female drummer. She's
I love you, Mr. Matt.
Miss Nikki. I miss you.
Oh, Miss Nikki, I love you.
So she's a drummer. She's amazing.
Shout-outs.
Female drummers are rad. They're few, but they're cool. So yeah.
We have Ferdinand. He said, do Zombie. Would love to hear your vocals to that song.
Well, that sounds
Zombie.
fun.
Like Rob Zombie?
I can
No.
do zombie.
Okay, whatever
Cranberry
songs
Zombie.
you guys want to do,
You
you
know
guys are
that.
more than
yeah.
welcome.
I could do zombie.
Yeah. Okay. We can
Zombie?
do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Sure.
would need to go
Oh
grab
my
my
gosh, I
guitar.
wanna-
Yeah. Sandro has to
no
get his
worries.
equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and just.
So you're just gonna go get his
Guitar.
equipment.
Yeah. We can do it.
And then grab the 1/4 inch that you had. I have it. Never mind.
And then Lisa Phillips says, she rocks. Zombie, I've heard it.
She has. She taped it. We did it at Halloween. We did a Halloween show at School of Rock for the kids' Halloween party, and we did Halloween themed songs.
That's so cool.
So we did like "Hungry Like the Wolf" by Duran Duran, "Bad Mood Rising," "Bark at the Moon" by Ozzy Osbourne,
That's awesome.
and we did "Cranberries." I brought the house down with that one. That was a jam.
That is
That
so
song's
dope.
awkward though because it has like a 1.5-minute exit of just like music, and it's like okay, interpretive
It's
dance.
like, what do you
like,
do when the music's just playing, right?
You have to dance.
You gotta-
and
yeah,
you
you
just
have
have
to
to make
dance
it feel
and keep the
cool. You have
stage
to
going.
just keep the energy up and not look like you're bored, but you're just like, here I am grooving. Here it is. Like, that's the thing with that song. But that song's super fun.
All right.
All right.
Guess we're doing this live, right?
Oh my God, Patrick Hawkins is like, bring the puppy home, please. You
Oh, you said no more dogs.
said no, my dog,
Shut up.
Patrick. All right. You need a mic? Oh no, you don't need a mic.
Am I cool with this one, or do I need a hand?
It's up to you.
I don't need it. I can just sing. I can just pretend.
Do I
I
need
don't
anything?
need to.
Maybe
You're not
take
clipped.
the
Oh.
that and then like probably put it on the table like close maybe.
I can hold it.
Yeah, she can hold it.
Okay.
We'll make it work.
Yeah.
Are you gonna turn off our mics?
Yeah.
What's the tempo on
Kim, what
this?
color is your mic? Your white.
Another
Yeah, it's
head hangs slowly, child is slowly taken. Yeah.
What
Slow.
color is
Oh,
this?
that's it. Just
Red or
His
Sandro's
orange.
literally looking it up and gonna have it down like this. It's kind of crazy. I can't do that with lyrics if my life depended on it. I have to like think of things.
Pretty talented.
I have my things to get it
just
down.
4 chords.
Okay, cool.
How did you find that out? That it's 4 chords?
chords on the internet.
Okay, I was just asking. Sorry, I didn't put you on blast.
Oh, that's why there's technology. Another head hangs slowly, a child is slowly taken. When the violence causes silence, who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are fighting. In your head, in your mother's breaking heart is taking over. When the violence causes silence, who are we mistaken? It's the same old theme since 1916. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are dying. In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey, hey, what's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey, 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 yo. Do, 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 do,
That was Renee, guys.
Oh, sorry. The dog got excited. In the middle of it, the dog got excited and came up like.
I was thinking I got it really intense.
Yeah.
Sandro!
Yeah.
Killed it! High five!
You both
And
killed
you
it.
killed it. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. You sang that.
Slap hands.
Let's slap hands.
Everybody,
Gotta catch it. Hold on.
got it.
That was so
we're-
good, Renee.
Thank you.
Toss it
Thank
back.
you. Thank you. Thank you for picking a song I knew.
And that's a vocal coach right
I
there.
was like, hey, we can swing this. It's cool.
Wow. And you guys live? Wow. That was so good.
As a little kid, my mother would do that. She'd be like, we're in the grocery store. Sing for them. Sing for them. Like, we'd be at someone's house. She'd be like, don't you want to show them your dance routine? I'm like, no, I love
That's
you,
my
Mom,
mom.
but like, no.
My
please
mom's the
no.
same way. She's like, sing. You can sing. And I'm like, no, I can't. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Where'd you get
so-
that from?
I get it. I mean, so I'm okay in like this realm, but
They're
yeah.
proud parents. Proud
Yeah, my
parents.
mom loves me. I know.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. That was amazing. There you go, DJ Marigold. That was a great request right there.
Yay.
She said beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, you
Thank you for your
guys.
request.
And then Ferdinand said, so good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that was amazing.
Yay.
And thank you for being open to playing that, like on such a last minute request.
Well,
That's what we do.
Sandro's known for me as the human jukebox, so I don't have to worry. I'm like, he's
Thank
got
you.
this. As long as I know the song, we're good.
That was amazing. And then Sandra, okay, so this is like totally off topic. That was amazing. But what do you love to play? What genre?
Oh, I like funk.
Really?
Like funk and jazz.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
jazz, yes. Okay.
So he'll
My
try to
thing.
throw me like a curveball, like we were in that band. He'd be like, "Oh, let's do this like, what song? What I don't even."
Like Valerie, we would throw
Funk it
like
out,
different
yeah, I
different
mean-
chord progressions.
But
and-
you would pick songs where I'd be like, "Oh, hard to handle. Like it's a little funky for me, but I'll figure it out."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
The song is crazy, but we'll do it. Like
But she's really good,
compromise.
so we're able to do a lot
you
of
guys,
things.
I can tell you guys enjoy playing together.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you.
I
Thank
was like, he
you.
was like, yeah, she's killing it.
Well, it's fun because like being a teacher, you probably feel the same way. We're really proud of our students, but like we get to perform every so often at those events.
Right.
We don't do them every time the kids do it. I'll be honest. So we don't always get to jam with each other. So when we do, it's like, ooh, this is fun. Like this is like
Yeah.
that like little extra nugget. You know, it's that little extra
Yeah.
fun thing. So
That's
that's why
cool.
it's super cool because
the icing
we're
on-
usually in our
on the
classrooms
cake.
or we're at the show supporting our little ones, but we're not in it. So
Feel
it's
like
cool
a-
to be in it with each other.
That's awesome.
This is like the extra.
I think we should go into your last video and then go into your modeling.
Sure.
I forgot we had one more video.
Oh, the
So-
video. Okay.
Of you performing live. So tell us
Okay.
about that whole event.
So,
that way we can play it.
Yeah, absolutely. So the kids get to have a mid-season show. We call it Rock Extravaganza. It goes on in the spring. You're going to see a clip of me singing a song by Royal Blood called Out of the Black.
Such a good band.
The band is awesome. I didn't know about them until that day when I had to learn that song. It was recorded at the Yost Theater. Props to Dave Leone for having us. We got to have a day there with the kids playing little snippets of their season shows as a teaser for the end of season show they were having at the beginning of summer. And so this is like, in the spring. So we as staff at that show, we get to perform. So we did a couple songs as a little break between the kid bands and adult band we have. And so we got to sing a couple or play a couple songs, and that was one of the ones.
And I apologize. That was actually a request from Ferdinand. And then Patrick Hawkins is like, oh my God, I want to say some cuss words of how great that was.
Thank you. Thank you.
So dope.
And Patrick's like, beautiful. So he didn't say the cuss
Oh,
word.
thank
Is it
you.
this one?
Yes, you can go in a little ways. You don't have to start from the top because there's like dead time if you want. I don't know. Yeah, because there's like a minute of just junk at the beginning of that recording. I needed to edit. I'm a bad editor.
I really like this song too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't know it until then. So shout out Ray Kidd in Texas. He was the one that picked this song for us.
Good song.
Oh, did you get to perform? Is
I
that you?
did. This is at the Yost Theater on the main stage,
Oh, wow.
which is amazing.
Santa Ana.
That theater is amazing.
Santa
If you've been there,
Ana.
if you've seen it,
Santa
it's a
Ana.
magical
Ana.
thing.
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana.
And it's haunted.
Just kidding.
If you believe
It's
that stuff.
okay.
Legit.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, thank you.
When I came alive, took you out of the blood. It broke your skin right through every part of me, every part of you. You made a fool out of me, you took the skin off my back, so don't worry when I drop, 'cause you hadn't stopped yourself. I got a gun for a mouth and a bullet with your name on it. But it's good for a heartbeat, like from an empty pocket. And never knew why, and it didn't care when it closed every door and washed away no sin. And I promised you, like you promised me, but those vows we made lasted up for free. Yeah. You made a fool out of me, you took the skin off my back, so don't breathe when I come, 'cause you hadn't stopped yourself. I got a gun for a mouth and a bullet with your name on it. But a trigger for a heartbeat, like from an empty pocket. You made a fool out of me, you took the skin off my back, so don't breathe when I talk, 'cause you hadn't stopped yourself. I got a gun for a mouth and a bullet with your name on it. But a trigger for a heartbeat, like from an empty pocket. And torturous love, never letting go, till the cruel end.
Yay.
Are we back?
That was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
badass.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank
You're a
you.
great performer.
Thank you.
when you had sent me the email, I was like, let me check this out. And I was like, hey, that's a good song. She did really well on stage.
Thank you. And the cool thing about that is, like, we maybe had 1 or 2 rehearsals. That's usually the way our staff shows go. So it's like we just have to, like, learn it on our own and go up there and wing it. And we don't, like, practice how we're going to vibe or anything we're going to do. It just kind of naturally happens.
Just happens.
So it's just really neat. It's a really cool thing. I don't know. That's
really
why for me music is so special. Like, it's very hard to explain, but like when you see stuff like that, you have to understand, like, that just kind of comes magically. You know, it's not
That's pretty amazing.
staged. I'm not like, I'm going to walk to this side at this part and I'm going to walk to this side at that part. Like, I'll think about the fact I need to move around, but you can't choreograph it if you've never been in the venue on stage till the day of, you know, or any of that. So it's all very natural.
That's cool. And to have, like, that whole, like, cohesive performance where everyone's, like, vibing out. And that's awesome. So we have Lisa Phillips, and she said, dude, rad, so good.
Thank you.
Is that Jordan, pre-haircut?
Yes, that is Jordan with Jesus hair.
Jesus hair.
Yes.
Who's Jordan?
Jordan's the music director over at our Tustin school.
Got it.
He is
He
the
just cut
man.
his hair.
He cut his hair, and now he just has a mustache.
Okay.
So now he's got short hair, mustache.
Hey.
Hey, but he's fabulous.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he kind of is the glue that keeps that school together. He's the one that comes up with the concepts for the themes for the kids' shows for end of season and all that.
He must
So-
love music as much as everyone else.
He does. He, like, you know, he is so music. Like, literally today I had a little 101 kid who's probably like our 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids, and we were doing a Tom Petty song, and literally she's like, what kind of guitar is that? And I was like, I have no idea. It looks like a teardrop or something. So I like took a picture, I sent it to Jordan, and within less than 20 minutes I had a response on exactly what make, model, brand, the whole thing, so I could tell my student.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
he's that
awesome.
guy. So
He's
he's
that
rad.
That's
So not only is he like a walking music, you know, encyclopedia, he's also really great at any instrument. He could just pluck it out, because I had a student need to learn a song, and I was like, I would have to like take a minute to try to piece that together. He can do it all, and he knows what kind of guitar Tom Petty plays.
Wow. Yeah,
So he's that guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
So he's
It's cool
rad.
to know someone like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for sharing all that stuff, and thank you guys for performing.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
now, you're welcome. Thank you. So let's go into your modeling.
Okay.
You are a plus size model.
am a plus
and
size
the
model.
first plus size model to come onto our show.
Oh, I feel special.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's exciting.
That's really, that's
Tell
so
us
cool.
about your whole
Okay.
journey.
So, so modeling for me wasn't like a thing. Like, I did beauty pageants as a kid. My mom, you know, had me do it. And then when it became very toddlers and tiaras, we didn't do it anymore. My mom was like, nope, not that.
Yeah.
So when I was in school, after music school, my parents' rules were stay in school. We cover stuff to help you live. Cool. So I went to school and did fashion merchandising. So it was cool. Like, I did displays. I worked in a small boutique in Ladera Ranch and did merchandising. And, you know, I just got to kind of live out fashion and enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, I never really pursued it. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I made my own clothes at a time. So it's like I've always had that creative fashion sense, but I never really
I can tell too.
pursued it.
Because like you guys have to check out her cute pumps. I wish we could
yes.
show.
Can you see it?
Lift a little bit
more.
more.
Yeah, you can take it off right there. Look how
They're
cute they are.
They're a giant bow. They're Jeffrey Campbell's. They're really uncomfortable, but they're extra fabulous.
When you pulled out your palms today, I was like, yeah, she loves
Yes.
fashion.
Yeah,
I thought they
these
were-
shoes
I
are
think they're
not
adorable.
comfortable, but they're fabulous.
Very
So
fabulous.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why I was like, am I sitting? Am I standing? What am I doing?
These shoes are so vintage, and they
Yes.
look like the ones that my friend, the one I was telling you about,
Yes.
my pinup friend would wear.
Oh, yeah. They're
she has
super
great
cute.
taste, as you do too.
Thank you, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, I love retro stuff. That's kind of part of my thing, like my style, I guess.
Yes.
But so for me, fashion was always in the background, but I always pursued music. Music was my number one love. And with fashion, it was just one of those things where, you know, I worked in a job for 10 years. I'll be honest, like, not to give you my life story. I worked in a job for 10 years. I was there 6 days a week. I lived it. I breathed it. I took no vacations, no breaks, no days off. I was always on call. I made everything happen for that place. I worked for the man, if you will. And I loved my coworkers. I saw them more than my friends and family. But at the end of the day, that was my whole life. I was like in the fish tank watching the world go by. And it was just a random fluke thing about 3 years ago now that they let me go. And
Oh my God.
it was just like my world ended. Like everything I knew, every day I lived, you know, it's like your iPhone tries to tell you it will take you 34 minutes to get to work today. I'm like, I'm not going. Like, shut up. Don't tell me. You know?
So sad.
So my whole life changed. And at the end of the day, it was a job, but it was stability. It was my habits. I'm a creature of nature in that sense. I don't like change. I lived and breathed what I did, and I believe in what I do. I don't do something unless I believe in it, which is part of why I'm so passionate about music and fashion, because I do believe in that, you know?
She's totally
Puppy's
passed
sleeping.
out.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
You're adorable.
So
she's on
passed out.
Mama.
So, I didn't know what to do. It was kind of a dark time. I didn't know how to, like, make it better. I did teach at School of Rock, but I taught at School of Rock while working at that salon. But I did School of Rock, just so you understand, before I would open the salon to be able to close at School of Rock,
Yeah.
or I would do School of Rock on my days off. So I would be doing it all. So although I say I worked 6 days a week at the salon, my 7th day was School of Rock. So I did it all. I juggled all the things. But when that happened, I worked more at School of Rock, and I thought, well, this is fun and I love this, but I still felt like I didn't know what to do with myself. And it was like I needed to still be doing something, and it was just one of these times where I was like, I've got to reinvent myself. I've got to figure this out. And with that said, it was all around that same time when I had seen an ad. I had a friend, hi Ashley, she worked for Wet Seal. They were launching a plus size collection, and
Very
they
cool.
needed a fit model. So what a fit model is, I didn't know till then, is you're a live mannequin. So you try on an outfit anywhere from 2 to like a dozen times till it's right. So
Whoa.
before it goes into production. So if the armhole is too high and you can't get in it, or the graphic is too low and it looks really bad, or you know that neckline looks funny, or the shirt is too short. And the thing is with plus size garments, they would want to grade it. So if the difference from like a small to a medium is 1 inch in, let's say, length and arm or whatever, they would want to do the same thing from the large to the 1X. And the reality is a plus size person is not built the same as a straight size person. So that doesn't work. So my job was to be a live mannequin when they launched that collection, to try on all of the pieces.
It's like a commerce gig.
Yeah. So I worked behind the scenes to help launch that line. So I worked with them trying stuff on. They let me trend forecast, which was super cool. So I got to have an input. Like, oh, I don't like that print. I like that print better.
That is pretty cool.
Oh, I like that trim. You know, what do you think of this color scheme? You know, I got to
cool.
still have input for Wet Seal Plus.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
so
really
I
cool.
feel very near and dear to them. They will always be like my first. I'm very sad that they are gone.
Yeah, that's right.
They did file bankruptcy and they are no longer around. Supposedly they're getting regrouped again. I don't know. I hope so. I do feel very like, you know, no matter what, I feel like they were my first and they were my home, and so I feel attached to them.
Of course.
But at the same time, that was kind of how it happened. And then from Wet Seal, it's like then I would book the next gig, and then I would, you know, meet the next thing. And, you know, a lot of what I've done with modeling is just word of mouth. It's just been one of those things, you know, I look for things, you know, I try to kind of find jobs myself. I don't have a management that works for me. I work for myself. So it's all about my hustle. It's about the work I put in. It's about networking, just like music for me. And that is how I make things happen. And so, so with fashion, that's kind of always been my thing. It's like, okay, you know, on to the next gig. I mean, and it was super crazy. Like literally the anniversary of, so 1 year, the anniversary of me losing that job at the salon was the day I went to a swimsuit fitting for a company I'd fit with many times. And it's like, okay, that's cool. That was the first collection of the Ashley Graham collection when she got big for being on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Oh, wow.
And I had no idea going into that I was
You
going to
didn't
be
know.
trying on the suits before they shipped them to her for the Maxim shoot. And I was just
Whoa.
like, this is crazy. But I
That's
didn't know that
cool.
going into it. No.
How do you find stuff like that? Just like online?
Online, I do a lot of online searches. It's a lot of word of mouth. It's networking. I spend a lot of time looking. I mean, there are a lot of late nights where I'm, you know, promoting and looking and trying to find gigs. So for modeling, for me, it's a lot of my own time and manpower. A lot
Yeah,
of
I
work.
think modeling in general, I mean, if you're a freelancer, that's
Yeah.
definitely what it is.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
It
That's
is.
what keeps the ball going.
Right. I mean, and for me, I just, you know, I found that modeling for me was bigger than me just, because, like, I'll be honest, my best friend is a makeup artist. You know Daniela. I love her. But she would say to me, like, you're so pretty, you should be a model. And it's like, shut up. You're, like, my best friend. I essentially not pay you, but pay you to tell me that. Like,
And you should believe it because
Yeah.
I guess like when
saying
you're being a woman, when you're
Yeah.
someone's best friend, like you really do say like you you're honest.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I think.
in
But
my heart, I believe that
be like,
she,
girl, don't do that.
you know, I believe that she just built me up because she felt that way. I really didn't take her at full value, is my point. So, like, when all this stuff was happening, she's like, I told you so. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. But, like, I didn't know. But for me, it's not about me being pretty. I want to just say this. Like, for me, plus-size modeling is an opportunity for me to make a difference. It's an opportunity for me to say that because I am not like everybody else, that's okay. And so, like I was saying, with struggling to find cool, fashion-forward, fun pieces and making my own clothes and all of that struggle, I feel that me, fit modeling, I'm able to help someone go into a store or buy online and find things that work for them because I'm doing this. So it's not just a job. It's not just, oh, I get to try stuff on. I feel like I'm able to change the way, you know, flip the script on what it was. I'm able to fix the problem I encountered growing up.
It's so funny that you say that because I'm on Facebook a lot, and I go on there like for myself to find gigs for myself, or when I'm doing a shoot and I'm looking for a model. I come across so many plus size models nowadays, and it's great. I think it's awesome. There's so much more opportunities out there. So what's some advice that you would give other plus size models to help get them that gig? What is some advice that you felt that the person hiring recognized? What are some main things?
I think for sure it's about like you need to have some knowledge, even if this is your first time fitting, like fit terminology. You need to know what an armhole is. You know, you need to have some kind of an understanding. It's like, you know, any job, if you're going for a job, you need to have a little bit of an understanding about it. So I would suggest like an intro to fashion class, or perhaps just looking online to just kind of get ideas. If you're going to be doing e-commerce or any kind of photos or anything like that, you're going to want to look at yourself in a mirror and see what the heck you do. Like, I still remember my first photo shoot. It was like, I had a whole team of people there to support me. They were so great and I love them. And everybody, I had a great photographer. We were on location in a really hot place because it was summer. And I was so nervous that, like, my nervous habit is to, like, make my eyebrows like this, like I'm surprised. And everyone's like, relax your face. And I couldn't do it. And I was like, whoa. I needed to practice. And I didn't know. I didn't know better.
So practicing.
Because for me, that is, I guess, my natural go-to is, like, scared eyebrows. Well, now I know. I need to, like, relax my face, you know? But I didn't know that, you know? So things like that. Because you don't know. Like, another thing I see is, like, when I look at old pictures of myself, it's like I didn't know what to do with my hands. You know, I made, like, awkward, stiff, weird hands. And I'm like, okay, now I know I need to, like, soften my hands, you know, loosen up. You know, it's like you look at pictures, you have to kind of look at yourself because you have to see what it looks like.
Hands are usually the worst.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hands and feet, your legs.
Like,
Yes. I mean, and
How
I
you cross your legs.
did a photo shoot where they didn't want any hands. You know how awkward that was? Because here I feel better now because I have had some experience. And then it's like, they're like, no hands. I'm like, pockets? Do I have pockets? Like, I didn't know what to do.
So what did you do?
I was dying inside the whole time because it's like it was like a shoot with a brand and a company I dug and like product and like styles I really liked, and I was like, I had all these visions of like using cutesy hand positions and things, and then they're like, no hands. I'm like, now what? Like, now I'm like, right? I mean, they got a lot of their stuff in pockets. I was like, sweet. No hands. But yeah, it's hard. I mean, and you have to be willing to be down for that. Like, I'll be honest, one of my gigs I did was a yoga line. It was a designer based out of Orange County. It's very small. Super cool. She wanted yoga. She wanted athletic. Okay, cool. They bronzed me up.
Whoa.
And I went and did these, you know, yoga outfits. And then it ends up on BuzzFeed. I wake up in the morning to a text like, hey girl, you know, you're like, you know, spandex shorts. Your butt's on, you know, BuzzFeed. I'm
No
like,
way.
I'll tell you this, you have some great gigs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I get lucky. I get really, really lucky. I feel very blessed. My advice on that is, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Believe in what you do and do what you believe in. Follow your goals, follow your dreams, do what makes you happy, and do something you're passionate about. And I'm going to tell you right now, although I've told you my mother is amazing, which she is, I do have some friends that are very supportive. I've also dated guys that told me I would never be successful. I would never amount to anything because I spread myself too thin. I had to pick something. I couldn't do music and fashion. I had to pick one. They also told me I had no talent. I had a girl, you know, tell me that I was singing backup for that I had no talent and I should stop doing music.
Sounds like haters.
People are very mean.
Haterade.
And the truth is, like, that stuff stings and it hurts and it sticks with you and it can eat you alive. But at the end of the day, the best advice I could give you is don't, you know, like, essentially, it's like I sit here and I like want to tell the ex-boyfriend, look at me now. Like, you're working some IT
Look
job.
at me now.
I bet you he added the fuel though to that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, my
Everyone always
dad.
does.
My dad always told me like, basically, haters are like your motivators. You know,
Yeah.
like they
that's
push
good.
you to do better.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, there are still people that like that they take that and that becomes them, and that's where I feel like, you know, I could be guilty of it too with the salon. Like, I would have never looked for a new job. I would have never been a plus size model. I still would be hustling there and working at School of Rock had that traumatic, huge change not happened.
yeah.
You know, I would never have gone outside the box and tried something new and lived my life to a fuller potential.
Yeah.
You know, and been able to do something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
Setting up hair shows and, you know, making, you know, goals and retail and training and schedule and customer service. I ran everything for nothing. So, I mean, at the end
It
of the
wasn't
day,
for nothing because it led you to this.
now I'm here. Yes.
It makes sense now.
Yeah. And now I have good people to do hair. It's cool.
Yeah.
So it all works out.
And I think too, you know what I love when I asked you about the tips to give
Yeah.
others plus size model?
Yeah.
You know, just so you know, those same tips a regular model would give to another model.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with like your body
Size.
image,
No.
your size,
No.
with the way you look like.
No.
So with that said, you know, it
Doesn't
doesn't matter
matter.
what
No.
size you are. Look at your photos, look at your hands, just how you're placing your hands, and just like, you know,
Awkward.
grow better from that.
Yeah,
So
I
I thank you
mean-
for sharing that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I just feel like plus size people, I mean, now it's become more like visible and acceptable, and in the society we're seeing that there are people who aren't a size whatever, and that's okay. I feel like that's great. We still have a ways to go, because it's like we still are promoting people as plus size that are like a size 8, and that's BS. That's not real. And I think, you know, so we still have a ways to go, you know, and I'll give a throw out, like, if nobody knows who Tess Holiday is, she's a fantastic, inspirational plus size role model. She's fantastic, and she's an awesome person in real life. So I've met her,
great.
I've talked to her, I adore her. I mean, you need more people like that. You know, you need more people like that to stand for what the plus size community looks like and what they need. Because she's like a size 24, 26.
Is she a designer?
She's a plus size model.
Got it.
She's done stuff with a brand based out of Canada. She also was on a People magazine as one of the plus size supermodels.
That's cool.
But she's a big girl. She just wrote a book. It hasn't come out yet, but she has her own thing, and I think that's rad, you know?
You know what? I
Very
love
cool.
that we're on this topic too, because going back to Snapchat, BuzzFeed is on Snapchat. I actually the other day was on Snapchat and I seen a plus size model, and she was gorgeous, and she was promoting. I think it was Calvin Klein.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it was Calvin Klein, but it was definitely like an undergarment line, and
Yeah.
she looked gorgeous, and I was just like, "Go girl!"
No,
Like,
and I
you
think
go,
that stuff
girl.
is super
Yeah.
cool. Like, every so often you will see, like, a New York Fashion Week throw a plus size model and keep, like, let's say they'll, like, have one garment for them. I'm just going to say this. They don't make that in store. That is my one complaint, is that I wish that the designers, if they're going to use a plus size model, which I think is dope, then committed to having a line extension to plus size.
There you go.
Because otherwise it's like a mixed message. It's like, that's really cool. There's a Marc Jacobs jacket that you fit Beth Dito in, who's a big girl. But that doesn't exist if I went to your boutique.
I agree. I think Forever 21 is one that, like, Forever 21 is a great store, but they do have a plus size.
They do.
But they don't
They do.
cater to all plus size.
No.
Oh, really?
What you're talking about.
No. And it's very fast fashion. And I'm just going to say this not to, like, put my opinions out there.
No,
But,
but I think it's relatable.
like,
topic.
with them, they do things very quickly. They want to turn over fast fashion. So their price point is very low. But that's what you're getting. You're getting what you pay for. So the fit is
Yeah.
poor. The quality is poor. It's just like straight size where you maybe get to wear it 1 or 2 times and it falls apart. And that's where they put companies like Wet Seal out of business, because Wet Seal cost a little more, but I know those fabrics were great. They were fit on me. So it's like, that's a couple more dollars because of the fact you're paying for that extra better product, you know?
Yeah.
You're paying for the fact they had to pay me to come in and try something on. You're paying for the fact that they didn't just buy from China in bulk and say, you know, this is good enough. You know, and I think that that's where people don't think, they think with their wallet is like, oh, I can buy a couple outfits, it'll be cheaper at Forever 21, but at the same time, you know, that's how you put other companies out of business.
Right. It's more about quantity than quality.
Exactly.
Definitely. Sucks,
Speaking
but
of-
it's true.
Yeah.
Speaking of like clothes and stuff and plus size, like what's your favorite shop to shop at, or like any line?
I shop everywhere. It's really hard. Again, there's a really inconsistent amount of like sizing across the board. So like when people be like, "Oh, I really like your shirt. Where's it from?" That's like Urban Outfitters. They're like, "Oh, they do plus." No, they don't. But their large is big enough. It's really random. I hate to say it, but I love plus size stuff. I would say for me, I really enjoy, because I'm very into like retro vintage inspired stuff. So for me, I love a lot of that. There's a lot of that does cater to a plus size community and is well fitting. Like the dress I'm wearing tonight is by Stop Staring. They were based out of LA. They just recently moved to NorCal. They're all women. They're a whole it's family owned and operated. It's all women. They're phenomenal.
That's awesome.
And they're amazing. They have amazing warehouse sales, and they're good people. So,
Nice.
you know, there's all sorts of that kind of stuff. I also have found that being plus size, I prefer to shop small. Like there's a lot of local designers. A lot of them I end up working with because I find them online or on Etsy or whatever, and I'm just like, I love your product, and they're like, would you be down to shoot? I'm like, absolutely. And then I get swag, and I'm like, yes.
You get
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in. Now I win.
Dang.
So everybody
Exactly.
wins. And so for me, I like to do a lot of that. You know, I find that's a lot better. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been in a Forever 21 plus size section. There are a couple pieces I will pick up here and there. But if I can do something else, I will do something else.
No, yeah, with Forever 21, even with like the smaller sizes, it's kind of hard.
Kind of weird.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I'll get something
Certain
and like
materials.
it'll be straight, like for girls with a little bit more flatter booty, and then it'll flare out. And
Their
so,
fit's awful because they don't take the time. It's quantity. It's not.
yeah.
Your dad is
taken care
so
of.
cute. He said, and this is to you, he's
Aw.
like, you are so gorgeous. I'm so impressed that not only are you beautiful, but you're talented, motivated, focused, and you know what you want and can do. You really have a lot going on. Always look forward, not back.
Thank you.
Aw.
Aw.
That's really sweet. Thank you so much.
So that was awesome. That was Kim's dad.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah,
So,
Thank you
Dad.
for sharing him with us.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing that. I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of the information you gave today is very helpful, especially
Yeah.
like for plus size models. And you know, and then like you said,
Yeah.
follow your dreams. If
Yeah.
if you
I mean,
don't
and I
like
feel
what
like,
you're doing.
yeah, embrace who you are and what you are. Like, people ask me all the time, like, why don't you get sun? And the reality is, like, the backstory on why I'm so pale is my mom had skin cancer. And so I was like, well, screw it. Like, if that runs in my family, I don't really need to be outside. Like, I'm cool with not being a sun person. I used to do the bed when I was blonde in Gwen Stefani because it looked better. I didn't look like a corpse. But at this point, I've given up on sun because I feel like I don't need it. And so that, again, is part
And
of...
if you do like the sun, which I do, wear SPF.
Yeah, I wear SPF 110 every day.
Wear a hat.
Sunny D. Oh, that's different, right?
No, that's a drink.
That's a drink. Yeah, I mean, so again, it's just kind of like, you know, that's part of who I am. I feel like that is part of what I stand for. It's like I'm pale, I'm curvy, I'm different, and I'm okay with that. And I think
There
you
you
should
go.
be okay with
Yeah.
whoever you are too. Like,
Yes, I
I
get
guess
it,
that's
girl.
the bottom
Wherever
line.
you are.
Like, I'm from Orange County, I'm not tan, I'm not blonde, and I don't have to be. And that's okay
Woo!
too.
I love that.
You know?
Yeah, even
And so
like
that's how I feel.
I feel like even online, like today, even though there's a lot of more plus size models, there's that body image of like
Yeah.
being big, but like, you know, like fit big, like curvy big.
Right.
And like my little sister, she'll come up to me, she's like, "Oh, I'm like big," and I'm like, "No, you're not. You're fine." Like,
That's a huge,
Yeah.
that's a huge issue. Like I said, there are people being plus size at size 8, which is bogus. And I feel like there isn't enough body types and shapes on the internet or on like pictures for like, you know, fashion, absolutely. And I think that's really wrong. I think it's a very big disconnect. On that same vein, it seems like a lot of companies will use the same models, and it's like that same image, that same natural model that, you know, maybe looks a certain way and has a certain body type, and I don't think that that's always fair. And I hear a lot of times, like, people, because I like to look at people's comments. Like, for example, when I worked with Razciel, I would see people comment, like, oh my God, these jeans were so amazing, they fit so well, and I'm like, I did my job good, right? I did it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So with that same, on the other foot, it's like, I will see people comment, like, you know, I really hate shopping online this brand because they don't have stores and the models you can't tell, or it's on a dress form. It's this total disconnect because it's not relatable. And I really think that there does need to be more diversity. I mean, and at the end of the day, although I do e-commerce is not my bread and butter because I don't fit what people want for e-com. Because they want the tan, blonde, proportional,
You know
status,
what?
and that's bogus. I think
think
that it should be a little
because you're
mixed
so
up.
passionate about fashion, you should one day be a designer and
You
open up your
should.
own designs because you've already been in that position where you're a model and you can be your own model and you
Yeah.
can relate to people. I mean, in
And
the
you've
future,
made your own
I mean,
clothes
why
before.
not?
I mean, and that is something. I mean,
Because
again,
it all
how many-
like, and this is where it all starts. It starts
Yeah.
with a designer, and if there
Right.
aren't any plus size designers, then how are you going to have plus size models?
Right,
You know,
right.
So you should look into that.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's something I have thought about.
Yeah,
it's not
I
like,
think-
oh,
I
you
think
know.
you should,
I
yeah.
mean, that's a down the road thing. I mean, that's an investment. As well as I know me, I wouldn't be able to kind of like, for example, like Gwen has her lamb line. In the beginning, Gwen was very involved in the details. You could tell, and then as it's grown, it's like she hasn't been as involved, and you could tell it's more just trendy pieces. And I feel like for me, because it would be my baby, I would have to be so hands-on that I would have to be ready to put that into the mix, you
Yeah.
know, because I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to just be like, you make shirts, K Bakes, like, you know.
No,
Bye.
I honestly give a lot of
Yeah.
credit to designers because they do put a lot of time into
Yeah.
their product.
Every detail. I mean, and I do that with every photo shoot. Every detail I have to plan ahead. So when people throw me like a curveball, like I want to shoot, I'm up till, 4 or 5 the night before trying to make sure I don't have bags the next day. But it's because I have to make sure I don't show up and be like, oh shoot, I should have brought that hat. Like I've got to be prepared.
See,
Yeah.
you're a great model. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do photography, and no, like some of the people I shoot don't know. And the fact that you're just telling me all this stuff is like, oh my god, I want to shoot you. You're like the perfect
I want
model.
to see the photos that I posted, like all her
We've
photos.
discussed.
You sent me 3 photos, and I was like, I love all of them because
Yeah.
they're all great shots of you, and they all
Thank
like
you.
make you look
Thank you.
amazing. Like they complement your body shape and your angles and everything.
Thank you.
So like you really don't have to be a certain size to be
Yeah.
a model. Like as long, like
Yeah.
you said, like
Thank you.
as long as you find those angles and you work with your hands and looking at your own photos and working off of that, like
Yeah.
it does help. But I loved your photos that you sent
Thank
me.
you.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. Like
Welcome.
with the one that was on the rock background where I'm
Yes.
wearing the red dress, that was just taken at Victoria Beach and Laguna Beach. That's natural lighting. That's the way it looked. I mean, and my hair was great when I got there, but the beach will do something
Yeah.
awful to it.
Humidity.
So I was not so cute by the end of that, but that was one of the last shots, and it just happened to work. I just got super lucky. I was working with a great photographer.
Look at how
and it
beautiful
all
it
worked
looks.
out. Thank you.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Great.
that was just a
Great
cool,
angle right
lucky
there.
thing. Thank you, no filter. And the other photo that one,
Another
I
great
like that one.
Right?
thank you. That's that was taken by Scooby. That was the first photo shoot with the eyebrows. That was the beginning.
Okay, so Scooby,
Yes.
I follow him on.
you know
on
Scooby?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
probably how I came across you. I had added
Probably.
him. He's always on Facebook.
Yes.
And he's a photographer. Tell us about
He's a-
Scooby. Who's Scooby?
So Scooby Miranda, he used to do Relive Last Night photography. So I met him through the club scene because I used to go out to clubs a lot, and so that's how I became friends with Scooby.
okay.
So that's how I met
Is he a
Scooby.
DJ also? Or?
No, he's just a photographer.
Got it.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a DJ name, huh?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Actually, I thought he was like in the music industry because of his name.
Right. And
Yeah.
like,
he looks like
yeah.
a really nice guy.
and he's friends with my boyfriend at the time, and so it was one of those things where he did me the solid and did the shoot, and it all worked out. And that's how I shot with Scooby.
We shall not
That's my
talk about
story.
that.
And then that other photo, the glitter fox, that was super random.
That one I love too.
Okay, so that photo.
I like the
girly
outfit.
and
The outfit's
Okay.
cool.
That photo.
Yes,
okay, so
that
that girl gave me a
outfit.
discount code we can share tonight if you want some of that glittery stuff. It's
Yes.
amazing. But
she got back to you?
Oh, she did.
Yay.
So that photo shoot was shot with Ed Duarte, and I had to Google him, and he shoots like Posh Spice. So like the night before,
Does he?
I'm like pulling all that stuff and like sweating, like what am I gonna do? And I have to look
That's
good, and my
huge.
hands and my face, and
You look amazing.
And he was like, not like he's great, but he's not like one of those photographers that's like in the camera. He's like talking to someone else and like
Click,
clicking
click,
and
click.
shit, like
You're an animal.
yeah,
So
the
crazy.
whole time I'm like, I don't even know if there's anything good because
This is what you do.
You're
You're like, can I see?
You're like, no.
That's all you gotta
And it was like,
but
we
I know
only
being
had-
as big as he is.
Yeah, and we only had like, let's say like an hour and a half booked that room or whatever, so I couldn't ask questions. It was like, go.
This is
you know?
one thing I learned is that, and you being a photographer, it's all about the lighting. The lighting is
Oh my
what's gonna
gosh.
make
Yeah.
you look
Yeah.
good. If you got
Yeah.
the right lighting,
Yeah.
you can make a crazy pose.
Yeah.
And it would look good.
And it will look good.
Yeah.
People always
And-
tell me that, you know, like,
Yeah.
hey, what kind of camera should I get? What lens should I get? Like,
Yeah.
no, just get yourself good lighting or
get
find
that
a
good
room that
lighting.
has good lighting
Yeah.
and you're good.
No, so that photo shoot was amazing because it was like super like thrown together real quick. The girl who does the line is Erin. She's fabulous. So Glitter Fox, that's the company's
Glitter
name.
Fox.
Glitter
That's
Fox.
really cute.
She, it's ironic because kind of like you were saying how you found Scooby. I
Yeah.
had originally found her Instagram because her fashion illustration drawings are amazing. And I went to school for fashion merchandising and had to take an illustration class, and I sucked at it. My stick figures were always a little wonky.
Oh.
I mean, I tried really hard though. So, so with that said, her illustrations were so beautiful, and I was just like, oh my god, her art is so good. And I found her because she had originally been a designer for Trashy Lingerie.
Oh wow.
So I had somehow through the clicking found her and was like,
That's
oh my
what I
god,
always
this girl's drawings are amazing. And then ironically, I had seen a post. She was looking for a plus size model to do a shoot with, as well as to do fittings with, because she wanted to extend her collection to do plus for these glitter skirts and
Nice.
mermaid
I
skirts
love them.
and costumes. And so through that, I booked her, and then I went to her Instagram and I was like, it's
I love
that
everything.
girl with the drawing. So I was like, it's
How
her.
crazy.
So it's such a full circle. So she's rad. So she's giving a discount code tonight if anyone wants to buy a glitter skirt. She does custom.
Yeah.
One of my really close girlfriends, Ashley, was pregnant. She made her a maternity outfit for her
Aw.
Christmas cards. She's great. She lives in Long Beach, so she's local. She's really
Local.
great. She makes it
I love
happen. So it's the site again is Glitter Fox LA is her thing. My code for you for this evening is Nene Glitter. So NAYNAYGLITTER.
It's cute. And Nene is your nickname. People
It
call you
is.
Nene. Your
It
full name
is.
is Renee
Yes.
Sigal.
Yes.
And then because Sandra was like, oh, Nene. I was like,
Who the fuck is
no, her name's Renee.
I thought that's how you'd introduce
I did
yourself as
read
Nene,
it in the
huh?
bio, but I totally forgot because it's in your bio. You said my friends call me Nene.
It is.
And then I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Renee.
And all of my
No wonder you gave me that like.
I did.
Yeah.
I give like when I don't
Stranger?
understand, I'm very facial. Like
It's okay.
my facial expressions take over
Yeah.
everything. Oh my god, I love her stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's beautiful stuff.
I have to buy one.
There's my body.
Ouch.
Yay! I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, her stuff is beautiful.
There's
And it's
my
all
body.
custom. But yeah, no, my nickname. Yeah, all my handles are Hey Miss Nene. That kind of became about as my persona. But as far as Nene goes, my mom would call me that as a child, and then my friends started calling me that, and it just kind of
course.
stuck.
Yeah.
But like my students would be like, "Oh, like that Whipped Nene song." I'm like, "No, I was before that. It wasn't that. Like that's."
But that's
yeah.
the way to remember it.
But that's true. If that works for you. But
With Nene song.
Well, you know what? This has been such a great show. I want to thank you,
Thank you.
Renee, so much for being so talented and coming on the
Thank you
show.
for having me.
And you were so great at responding to all
Yeah.
my like messages at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm ready.
You
I'm
were
up.
effective,
I'm up. I'm
definitely.
looking for modeling jobs. I'm ready.
Exactly.
I'm
She's
there.
on it. So book her. She's very professional. And
Thank
thank you for introducing us to Sandro. Sandro, you're so talented.
Thank you.
I hope you guys both can come back on the show.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my
We're
god.
in.
Yeah, so did we.
I like
right?
I'm talking.
As long as you have the puppy here.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yes.
yes. She'll be here.
She was sleeping the whole
She
time.
has
She was
plenty
good.
of months to go before she gets all crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she-
Starts jumping on the table. That's our co-host from now on.
Yeah.
Because I can't bring her on the show because she'll jump on everything
Oh,
and then
no.
she'll start nibbling on people's fingers. But I had a great time, you guys. Thank you, Kim, for being
Yeah, Kim.
my co-host. I love you. Hey, you guys, and if you guys want to check out our latest collab on YouTube, click on the link
yeah.
in my bio and you'll be able to watch our 5-minute makeup challenge fail. And then to catch up with Renee, you can follow her on her Instagram at
Hey Miss
Your
Nene.
breath stinks.
Hey Miss Nene. That's
Hey.
cute.
Thank you. That's me.
Check her out, you guys. Hey, if you guys are any
you.
designers,
Yeah.
or you guys know any designers, book her. She does great. You guys just seen her photos, and
Thank
she has a
you.
great personality.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nene.
And then if you guys want to follow Sandro, you will have a YouTube.
I do have a
have a
YouTube
YouTube.
channel.
Yeah.
Well, we covered some of the videos.
Yeah, it's on Hey Miss Nene. It's all Hey
Hey,
Miss
on
Nene.
her
It's
Instagram.
easy. It's all consistent.
Love it.
Yes.
And I love your YouTube too.
Thank you.
Check out Sandro's YouTube, you guys, because he has not just himself on there, but he does constant collabs with a lot of amazing
Yes.
LA talent.
Go check it out.
So you cover like all R&B,
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
a little bit of everything. That's awesome.
And I try to bring in different singers all the time, like Miss Nene here.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to meet Milo. So put it
Ooh,
on.
yeah, definitely.
I think he's super talented.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sandro, what's your YouTube?
I just Sandro Razciel Music.
How do you spell that again?
SandroRazciel.
I always have to look it up too, even though I know you, I still don't know.
And
I'll be honest.
I just went on your Instagram and I clicked on it.
Yeah.
oh, there you
Because it's
go.
on there, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there I am.
There it is.
And you guys, I love this most recent performance too. So shout out to Milo. Hopefully you read your DM.
Milo, read your DMs.
Thank you so much. I had a great time. You're amazing.
Oh, you're awake
Keep doing
now.
you
You're
and
awake
your
now.
modeling thing.
You're awake.
Sounds like you're doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
definitely look into
I
that
like math.
designing thing in the future. I
Okay.
think you would do amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, you can always do all of them.
Thank you,
I know, all the
Vanessa.
things.
Thank you,
Just
guys.
keep bringing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody that was on our chat today.
Thank
Love you
you.
guys. And next week, I can't wait to see you. We will be here Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on Vanessa's Vanity. And Cam, are you going to be here next week too?
Yeah.
And we'll see who our guests are. And hopefully you guys can tune in on our
We'll
next
tune
show.
in. Yeah.
Yay. Of course.
And yeah, you guys, thank you so much. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.